Welcome to Ageless Vitality, where we share secrets so that you can thrive through midlife and beyond. I am Dr. Mia, your B3 specialist and board-certified gynecologist at Mibella Wellness Center, where we offer gynecology, weight management, hormone pellet therapy, intimacy services, total wellness with supplements, and laser hair removal. We serve men and women, and I'm excited about this podcast today and the topic of weight management. And Joseph, introduce yourself.
I'm Joseph, the men's intimacy and wellness coach. So we're talking about weight management.
Weight management in the
We love this
midlife
subject.
and beyond. We like this subject because it's such a difficult thing to maintain healthy weight as you hit those 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. It's harder to lose weight. So I'll just start off with a little bit about my journey and how I got into weight management.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So the whole time I was practicing medicine, when my patients couldn't lose weight, I would tell them just eat less and exercise and you should be able to lose the weight. But that was when I was in my 20s and my early 30s. So then I have Marley, my daughter, and I gained 60 pounds in that pregnancy, and it wasn't just pregnancy weight because it didn't really just come off. It was hard for me to get the weight off, and that's what really got me into the whole weight management aspect, because I'm like, well, dang, I see what my patients talking about. You know, I've been telling them all the time, just eat right. I was exercising. I was doing 2-a-days, but I had hit those 30s, and the weight just would not come off. So that's what got me into weight management. So I went for training because they never taught doctors how to teach people how to lose weight. So I didn't know how to do it myself, and I didn't know how to tell my patients to do it. And we all know that obesity is probably the #1 cause of preventable death now. It has surpassed smoking. So I went to the Center for Medical Weight Loss and learned how to teach my patients to lose weight through lifestyle changes, through behavior modification, and understanding physiologically what goes on with the body. So I started Mibella Wellness Center as a weight management and a gynecology practice, and my focus on weight management has always been because I know that is a huge part of prevention. People who can maintain a healthy weight and create the lifestyle to maintain a healthy weight are going to be healthier overall. So that's how I got into weight management. I've always been on a diet. The only time I wasn't on a diet, and the reason I gained 60 pounds in my pregnancy is because I've always been on a diet since college. I was always working on my weight. I'm always exercising and stuff. So when I got pregnant, I was like, I can't be on a diet. So that's when we started eating everything. What we had, Joseph? We have hamburgers and milkshakes and French fries. I mean, just anything you can think of.
Pizza.
I just ate. Yeah.
Yeah, we ate a lot.
Yeah, probably wasn't
the whole
healthy for my daughter,
household
but
was big.
yeah, but we ate. We looked like the clumps when
right?
we delivered. Like our
clumps.
first picture with Marley
I don't
as a
even know that
baby, we all
picture.
looked
I
like
don't
the
even know that
clumps.
picture. I think we burned that picture.
And that's when I first started working out with Peggy too, because after I had the baby, I was like, I know I got to get this weight off. I did breastfeed for a year, so that's a lie. That did not help me. Everybody was like, well, if you breastfeed, your weight gonna fall off.
Yeah.
Nope, not in your 30s, or not for me. And remember too, weight has an emotional component. So postpartum, I probably wasn't mentally stable, so it was really difficult for me to lose weight. So the things that I was trying to do, like the 2-a-days, I would be doing 2-a-day workouts. I would work out with my trainer, then work out in the evening, but I was still eating crazy. I still was emotionally at a place where I just couldn't eat healthy. And so that's how I got into the weight management. I finally figured out a lifestyle that worked for me, lost the weight, and I still have been on a diet since that time, or I'm always at least focusing on weight management in my lifestyle. What's your weight journey like?
I just got old. Pretty much. I stopped working out. Yeah. I got to the point where I hated working out.
Yeah.
So, which I still don't like working out, but it's a necessary evil. But I think my weight journey was, I've always been 200 plus for as long as I can remember. I've been 200 plus. I think when we met, I was right around a little under 230, around 225. When Marley was born, I was about 258 when she was born. It was your fault, most definitely, 100%.
It was Jomi's fault.
It was Jomi's fault, right? Because we ate good too. That was horrible. You know, I think about it.
Yeah,
boy,
how we ate.
I think about us sitting around the table like the clubs, like oh my goodness. And then I think as I got older, and we talked about hormones and stuff. I think as I ordered, my metabolism slowed down considerably.
Yeah, definitely.
And so that was pretty much, where I couldn't get below 250. I would get probably to 240. And then once I hit about 51, I would say 51, 52, it got to the point where I couldn't get under 250, I think, which right now, of course, it didn't stay like that because we specialize in weight management. I'm at 234 right now, and that's after vacation. So I think I was probably through 230, right at 230 before we went on vacation. So I think my weight management had a lot more to do with I retired from my physical job.
Yeah.
So that kept my weight down in the 240s. So I was very, very active every day, at least 6 days a week. My metabolism slowed down. And probably because I retired from my physical outside type of job, I stopped drinking as much water too. Because I was drinking water all the time because I deal with the environment, So, and it got to the point where I realized even if I work out 3 to 4 times a week, it is way more difficult. Like these workouts have to be, no, it's not the workouts. The food.
Yeah, it's all about the food. It's 90% food.
The diet has to be always correct.
Right, at least 90% of the time.
Right. Like we cannot eat fast food 3 times a week. We cannot eat out 3 to 4 times a week. We have to cook.
Right.
We have to eat raw vegetables. And that's our diet though.
Right.
That's not for everybody.
Right.
But our diet is raw vegetables, lean meats. That's our diet, and that's how we lose weight and maintain keeping our weight off. And so for me, it just got frustrating that I couldn't just work out and lose the weight. Because I usually could work out and drop 10 pounds. Yeah, because when you're in your 20s,
you can just start exercising
drop 10 pounds in 2 weeks.
Right. But in your 30s.
Now,
And so I lost the weight when I started my practice. So that was like in 2010. I was doing really, really well, maintaining a healthy weight because I had changed my lifestyle.
Right.
So some lifestyle changes, I made sure I always ate breakfast. Eating breakfast within that first hour of waking up is key to healthy weight management. When you skip breakfast, then what happens is your body goes into starvation mode, and everything you eat after that, it stores it as fat, so it's not burning.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you of breakfast, because one thing I notice is, and I like oatmeal, but I'm hungry real soon after oatmeal.
Right, because it's a carb.
Right, and so because I may not have the time to eat at 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the morning again. What should be a balanced meal that can at least hold you for 3 hours, not 2, but 3 hours, because you do need to snack, but what should hold you for 3 hours?
I say 2 to 3 hours, and I think it depends on your metabolism, but eggs and bacon, if you want to make a turkey bacon, that's fine. A protein shake will actually hold me for 2.5 hours. But I don't like to eat big meals that hold you for 4 to 5 hours. We want the meal to hold you anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours, because another big component of weight management as you're aging, since you're fighting against metabolism, is the frequent small meals. So breakfast in the first hour of either waking up or exercising, if you exercise first thing in the morning, and then eating that every 2 to 3 hours. So protein is just going to be your friend. Protein, healthy fat, and fiber. Those are the food groups that are going to keep you satiated or satisfied. Your carbs and your sugars are going to make you more hungry because they affect your insulin levels. It's just basic physiology. When your insulin levels are high, you cannot burn fat. You're not going to lose weight. So if you're eating a bunch of carbs and sugars, it's very difficult to lose the weight. If you can keep your insulin levels low, and you can do that by decreasing your sugars and your carbs, it's going to be easier for you to burn fat, and you'll watch the weight fall off faster. So a lot of people say, well, when I eat carbs, I gain a bunch of weight. You do, because your insulin levels stay high, so it's harder to lose the weight.
Right.
And the same for a type 2 diabetic.
So back to the breakfast though. To the breakfast. So
protein.
Eggs, bacon,
Greek yogurt is a
Greek
great
yogurt.
option. Protein shake, protein bar, chicken from the night before, your omelet. Just something with healthy protein and fiber. And you can add some fiber in there and, you know, the healthy fat. But doing carbs, so that's why I say doing oatmeal, for a lot of people, they are going to be hungry pretty quickly, especially instant oatmeal because it has a lot of sugar in it. Now, people who do the steel cut oatmeal and don't add a lot of sugar, they may add some nuts and some healthy fat. That may, you know, keep people satisfied for that 2.5 to 3 hours. But I just say set your alarm and just eat frequently, because you don't have to eat a lot at one time. But since you're going to eat every 2 to 3 hours, keep you some nuts, keep you some fruit for your snacks, you know, have those things around, and then just be prepared, because that's the hardest thing is we not prepared. So we end up stopping at a fast food restaurant and getting crap.
Right. Real important. So again, we deal with weight management. We don't really deal with weight loss. We deal with losing the weight and managing to keep it off. And we kind of manage that process with people.
And I think the thing that helped me the most too was that resting metabolic rate test. So when
knowing what your calories
knowing
are.
your calorie.
Right.
So I know my resting metabolic rate is 1940. That means that at rest I burn almost 2,000 calories. So if I want to maintain weight, I can eat almost 2,000 calories. But if I want to lose, I need to eat more like 1,700 to 1,800 calories. So knowing that number took all the guessing out of it. I mean, either you eat too many calories and you don't lose, or you eat fewer calories than you need and you lose the weight.
Right. So that what you're saying to me basically is when we done here and I go get this Five Guys, I probably should eat for the rest of the day.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you shouldn't get the Five Guys, and you should stay within your calorie range through having 5 small meals a day.
Well, that's going to be protein and my calories.
Right. We're not going to Five Guys after this at all. We're going somewhere else. But anyway, so you know, the protein, you know, eating the right foods and eating frequently and not skipping breakfast, decreasing the carbs and the sugars, decreasing the processed food, so eating whole food that God put on the earth.
Right.
Your meats and your salads and your nuts and your fruits and your vegetables. And you're going to eat you some grains and you're going to eat you some carbs and potatoes and stuff like that, but doing the brown stuff instead of the white stuff. The white stuff is bad. White potatoes, white rice, white bread, white pasta. Switch that over to the brown stuff, the sweet potatoes.
Enriched flours.
Yep, avoiding the enriched flours and the kind of meat that you eat, you know, is important.
If you use flour or eat breads, look for breads that have wheat flour, not enriched wheat flour. It doesn't matter if it's enriched, that means it's been processed. So look for whole or wheat flour.
Right.
It just will say wheat flour.
Or just these like sourdough
because we
bread.
love bread. But what I notice eating bread is as soon as I eat anything that has an enriched flour is I swell up. Yeah, immediately. I want to go back because you talked about the metabolic rate test, but you didn't actually say exactly what that was.
Okay, so that's when you come in.
Is.
Right. So anybody who starts a weight management program at Bella, you come in fasting for at least 4 hours, breathe in our machine, takes about 10 minutes if you get it right the first time. And because your nose is pinched and you got this machine, you're breathing in and you're trying not to let any air out so it can measure the CO2 and know your exact metabolism. And then once we do that, we also put you on that body composition analysis scale, because what's very important and what a lot of people are doing now is they got these new great drugs out here, but they're not being used appropriately. So people are losing muscle. If you lose muscle with your weight management, you're gonna gain the weight back. So getting on that body composition analysis scale, knowing exactly what your muscle mass is when you start, and that's something that we monitor throughout the process to make sure that the fat percentage is going down, but not the muscle mass. We want to hold on to muscle.
We monitor because this is a weight management
program. Yeah, we're trying to teach you how to lose the weight and keep it off. And what I tell people is lose the weight the same way you're going to keep it off. So if you do a keto diet and you know that you're not going to be able to do a keto diet for the rest of your life, that's not the right way to lose the weight. Intermittent fasting for some people, they can do it for a couple of months, and most people who come here, they say, I'm doing intermittent fasting. I'm like, that's why you're here, because it's not working. It may work for some people, but at the end of the day, it's all about metabolism, maintaining a healthy metabolism with the frequent small meals, and then also hormonal balance.
I was reading a study, and it said that intermittent fasting is built, or the way they put it was, it's built for individuals who are high
type 2 diabetics.
No, not high type 2 diabetics, but high energy athlete type people. People who they get up in the morning, they work out, then they do something else and they work out again, and then they eat. Like in the evening.
Yeah, see, I'm not a huge proponent of intermittent fast. I'm not really a huge proponent of it.
It worked for me. It worked
for
for
a couple of days, but it wasn't consistent.
No, you have to be consistent at it.
Yeah, because nobody. It's hard to just not eat, but 8 hours out of the day.
Yeah, it's just something you have to do every day.
Yeah.
But when you have a family, it's hard to.
And the reason I don't think it's good. I mean, I think intermittent fasting works well for keeping insulin levels lower longer, because if you're not eating, your insulin levels stay low, so it allows you to burn fat. But one thing is that most people don't do well doing that long term, so don't try to lose your weight a way that you're not going to be able to keep it off.
It's difficult when you have other people you eat with.
Yeah, it is difficult. It's hard. So again, lose the weight the same way you're going to keep it off. So for me, what works is breakfast in the first hour, staying within my calorie range, getting my 70 grams of protein in per day, the frequent small meals, making sure I'm exercising. The exercise isn't necessarily going to make you lose the weight, but it helps you with that muscle mass component for the metabolism component. So I think it's 90% what you're putting in your body, and then it's that 10% of your exercise and your activity. But again, focusing on resistance training in this midlife and beyond, because the reason we gain weight as we age is because we naturally lose muscle. We lose more muscle as we get in that 30s, 40s, because our testosterone levels decline. And then when the muscle mass goes down, the metabolism slows down, so it's easier to gain the weight. And then you notice with muscle loss that you gain more weight in your belly. So like I never gained weight in my belly until I got to my 30s, and that's because it was probably because my testosterone declined in my 30s. I always gained weight in my hips and my thighs, but as you get older, it goes right to the belly because of hormonal imbalance, lack of muscle, and age.
Right. So one thing that's key when it comes to weight management is also just changing your lifestyle. That's really what weight management is.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle change.
It's changing your lifestyle, understanding that you can no longer eat this, you have to eat this.
Or you can't eat this all the time. You know, it's nothing that I just can't have and I still can maintain a healthy weight. I still enjoy good food. I don't eat all, somebody was like, well, you just do all meal replacements. I'm like, no, I do not. Like, I do a meal replacement for convenience because sometimes I don't have time for breakfast. So I have a protein shake available, but I eat real food that tastes good. When we cook at home, we cook good food. I eat a steak every now and then. I still eat mostly chicken, seafood, and turkey, but I have the times where, and if I want something sweet, I have a way to have me something sweet. I keep me some small little Heath bars in my office, and when I want something sweet, I can go get one and I'm good. But I think too, for a lot of people, the accountability part and just it being so difficult because it is an emotional component to weight management.
It most definitely is, especially if you've had a long history of, I'm not going to say failing, but trying and not getting to where you want to go. Right,
like being on several diets and losing the weight and gaining it back, and which is bad for your health too and your metabolism.
Yeah, that's why I would never be on a diet, because that would be just frustrating for me.
Just be on a healthy lifestyle.
I mean, and for me, when it comes to healthy lifestyle, I had to live that as a younger age, so it's easier for me than it might be for other people, because my mom had heart disease in her 30s, so we ate baked chicken and broccoli and healthy foods because she's 80 years old and still here, so and that's what helped her live a good quality of life. But the one thing you talked about was weight training and resistance. I noticed that because I don't do any more weight training, I think that's the reason why I dislocated my shoulder.
Definitely.
Didn't know.
I agree.
Because my muscles are not as strong as they used to be.
Around your shoulder, so it's easy to damage.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons why I dislocated. I didn't know I dislocated my shoulder, but I think that's one of the reasons. I was thinking about that. Yesterday. And the other thing too is that with resistance training, it also helps with bone mass, so you're less likely to have a fracture and have injuries. And then exercise in general, like you said, building up the muscles around your joints will help protect your joints and your core.
Right, but exercising right. Now that's why I have a trainer. I have not had an injury. I've been working out with my trainer since COVID on Zoom, and I have not had one injury. So over 35 and 40, there are certain things that you probably shouldn't be doing for your exercise if you weren't already doing them. You probably shouldn't start your running game at 40 because it's just going to put extra stress on your knees. You're already at the age where you're going to start, where you can easily start having knee problems. So why run? Walk.
Yeah, I ain't running nowhere.
Right.
I'm sorry. If you see me running, you must run as well.
Because it's something going on.
Because there's something going on. Because I ain't running nowhere.
And CrossFit, you know, like a lot of my patients that are coming in with injuries, they're exercising on their own, or they're doing something like CrossFit with really heavy weightlifting. Once we're in our 40s and 50s, there is no reason for us to be lifting heavy weights. So with my trainer, she teaches me how to correctly do resistance training exercise with light weights, but still building muscle, helping with the bone mass, and then helping, and she knows how to sculpt really well.
Yeah, I know CrossFit is something I can do because I already have knee injuries, you know, previous knee injuries, stuff like that.
So jumping, all of those things are just not things,
what you call shoot squatting, you know,
jump squats.
Jump squats, nah.
I do a little bit of that because I have to, because my trainer bullied me into it. But
but
I don't jump training. I just don't jump. I just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
my weight training is limited to the weight of my wife. That's how I go about that. You know, anything heavier than you, I'm sorry.
And you probably shouldn't be lifting heavy as me.
You know, I can lift you, no problem.
But not for weightlifting.
Yeah, I can do that.
Weight training.
But I don't. Why do I need to do that? I'm 54 years old.
So good
I'm
exercise.
not picking up nothing. I'm hiring people to pick up stuff. I'm not picking up nothing.
So one of the privileges I have is that I have a very diverse patient population. So when I have an older woman that comes in that's healthy and, you know, she exercises all the time and she maintains a healthy weight and she still has a great sex life, I always say, what's the secret?
Yeah, what
is it that you have done for you to age like this compared to people aging like that? And it's consistent. My people who age well exercise regularly. They eat healthy. They maintain at least under obese. You know what I mean? They may not be completely normal weight, but or they may be in the overweight category. But the main thing is that they exercise regularly. You know what I mean? So the exercise component is so good for the health, but it's hard to maintain a healthy weight with no exercise because you lose too much muscle. So Pilates is great at our age. So exercise is so that you don't hurt yourself. Pilates is great at our age. Swimming is great because there's no stress on your back and your muscles. I love Pilates.
I know you love it, but I swear.
It's so good for your pelvic floor muscles, ladies.
It's not a day that I did Pilates where I walked out of there and was like, this was great.
Right.
No, this was some fraggle knackle bull crap.
But it's so good for your aging body because you need to stretch. That's why old people walk like this is because they haven't been stretching and exercising.
Trust me,
Yoga is good. What else?
Yoga's good.
Yoga's good.
Yep.
Resistance training, calisthenics. Yep. And just things that are going to keep a lot of walking for people.
Core workouts.
Yeah, good core workouts. So building
and that's
the
what
core.
Pilates really is good for.
And
you
yoga.
want to build your core, you know, and feel violated at the same time, you go to Pilates.
Right. but the core is important. I'm glad you brought that up because that's all about balance. So as we age, the reason you see all these older people with casts is because you lose balance. So if you're not exercising and stretching and doing your Pilates or yoga or doing some kind of stretching exercise, you're going to be more likely to fall, have a fracture. If you're not exercising, you lose bone mass. So all the things with age go along with maintaining that healthy exercise and include stretching in that exercise and definitely resistance training, even though you want to get some cardio in.
Right.
So just remember that you should exercise, and then also how much you exercise. So some people feel like they didn't exercise if they don't go to the gym for 2 hours. I don't have 2 hours to exercise. I don't have that kind of time in my life. So my goal is 30 minutes, 4 days a week. So set realistic goals. Don't set a goal of going to the gym for 2 hours and you know you got 1,000 things to do. So I wake up first thing in the morning, get my exercise in with Peggy Keebler, PK Fitness, because I have to pay somebody to make me exercise because I don't like exercising at all. I only do it for my health and for me to feel good and have great intimacy and flexibility. That's why I exercise. But find a way for you to have accountability. You know, so that may be a buddy, that may be a trainer. Make sure you get a trainer that can keep you from hurting yourself. And then reasonable time, so put it in your schedule. and then reasonable goals. Don't, if you only have 30 minutes a few days a week, do the 30 minutes a few days a week.
Absolutely. And find you a trainer that you're compatible with. So
right.
Not somebody that's going to sit up there and be like, oh man, you big enough to lift all this.
Right.
Let's get to it. And
because you can't afford an injury.
You end up getting a rotary cup surgery because of it. So find somebody that's compatible and is skilled enough to work out your body.
So
not based on what they just believe you
right,
should do.
But they actually assess you
right,
and do what you
and
know what your problem areas are.
Get injured too, and then they don't ever go back to working out.
Yeah.
After that,
Yeah.
So find you a trainer that's really interested in getting your body the way it should be.
So to summarize, we were focused on weight management. We know how difficult it is in the midlife and beyond. So we talked about the things that you can do to help maintain a healthy weight. And the other thing is, value yourself, value your health. If you have to invest for somebody to help you get your exercise in, like I pay my trainer on a regular basis, whether I have a lot of money or not, that's just a part of my lifestyle. So get that accountability. Change what you're eating, how you're eating, eat the healthier food, focus on your protein, stop skipping meals, do your frequent small meals, and then go get help if needed. Yeah. Because the way to live well, age well, and experience everlasting intimacy has so much with your lifestyle, what you're eating, how you're exercising, and maintaining a healthy weight, which is all very difficult in the midlife and beyond, but doable.
That's good. That's all. Get a trainer.
Eat healthy. Meal prep. Go to the grocery store. Stop eating out all the time.
Yes.
And that's going to help you with your weight management so that you can live well, age well, and experience everlasting intimacy. So thank y'all for joining Ageless Vitality, where we share our secrets for you to live your best life in midlife and beyond. It's Dr. Mia. Joseph, do you have something to tell the people at the end? Do you have any final words on this wonderful podcast?
I'm trying to think. Do I have something? No, I think the one thing I could say on this is know your blood type, know your body type, and eat what works for both of those. That's what I could say.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't work out, you can live a healthy lifestyle if you can eat within what works for your body.
Right.
Yeah.
And that may take some trying different things.
Yeah, trying some different things. So.
All right, so it's Dr. Mia and Joseph at Bella Wellness Center. It's our Ageless Vitality podcast. We'll catch you at the next one. Make sure you share this. Make sure you like,
share, and tell other people.
Right. Share.
Subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. Ageless Vitality to all your friends who want to live their best lives, midlife, and beyond.
There you go.
Bye, y'all.